Chad LB. Chad LB. Today we're going to be learning from one of the great young lions that's carrying on the tradition of jazz and taking it to the next level. Chad Lefkowitz-Brown. Be sure to stick around. Hey everybody, Chris G here from PositivelyProgressing.com. Thank you so much for tuning in and for your continued watching habits. I appreciate your time and you being here today. Thank you. So I was fortunate enough to study with Chad before he retired from teaching Skype lessons. He is still at the San Francisco Conservatory. If you plan on going to school there, then you can definitely study with him there. But thankfully, I was able to get about 6 months of lessons with him, and let me tell you, it was some of the greatest lessons I've ever taken. He's a great guy, great instructor, amazing player. I mean, if any of you guys know who he is, you'll know he's absolutely a monster sax player and musician in general. Chad has some great material on his site. I will put a link below, and we'll definitely tell you to check that out. After the video, of course. One of the items in Chad's store is a solo transcription book by Ron Fix. And today we're going to be looking closely at a certain part of his solo on How High the Moon. How High the Moon is one of those standards you should definitely know. Charlie Parker's Contrafact Ornithology is the same chord changes as How High the Moon. So if you know ornithology, you know How High the Moon. If you know How High the Moon, you know ornithology. You just got to learn the melodies. So the form of the tune is A, B, A, C, meaning that the A sections are the same, and then the B sections, the first ending, C sections, the second ending. So those differ a little bit as far as chord changes go. The melody also changes there. So be sure to learn the melody. You'll get a little bit more familiar with the harmony if you know the melody. 4 bars before the second A section, there's a 1-6-2-5 that occurs, and that is where the sonic magic happens. Different sonic magic. Now, if you are confused or don't know what a 1-6-2-5 is, let me break it down for you real quick. We're in the key of G concert. So that's the 1. G is the 1. The 6 dominant of that 1 is E7. That's an E dominant 7 chord. The 2 is an A minor 7. And the 5 is a D7, a D dominant 7. And then you go back to the 1, and that's the start of the next A section. So let's take a listen, and then we'll break it down. Let me play it a little slower for you so you can really absorb it. 1, 2, 3. So what's going on here? Color tone breakdown coming at you. Quick note, the transcription you see below is in concert key. So this line starts on the end of 3 and it walks down to the 3 of the 6th chord. Keep an eye on his voice leading during this whole entire line. It's pretty awesome, and you'll notice that his voice leading is so great, and that's what makes this line sound so great and so hip, and is just full of great language for you to get a hold of. So once he hits the 3 of the 6th chord, he pivots down to the 5, goes up to the flat 7, and then hits the 1. So you can see that that's just a 7th chord, the dominant 7th chord, just in a different order with a pivot. Pretty cool. The next 2 notes are super important. That is a sound that you should really get familiar with because that's a sharp 9 flat 9 sound. Sharp 9 flat 9 over a dominant chord is probably something you've heard quite often in some of the great players or some of the people you listen to. Those are common colors that you may hear, but you may not know exactly what's going on. If you have heard this sound and you didn't know what it was, now you know. Get it in your ears. It's a valuable sound for you to recall when you're on these dominant chords. It provides a really good tension, and then when you resolve, you're able to resolve, and it kind of has that release, that tension and release you're looking for if you're going from a 5 to 1. In this case, we're going from a 6 dominant to a 2, and you're about to see how he resolves it. Sharp 9, flat 9, 1 to the flat 7, and then he resolves into the 3 of the 2 chord. Great voice leading again. So like I said before, it's not a coincidence that Chad's line is so good. All the great legends, all the great musicians you're hearing out there have exceptional voice leading, whether past or present and future. So that whole bar sounds like this. So now we're on the 2 chord. The 2 is a minor 7 chord. So it starts on the 3. He voice led right into the 3. He jumps up to the 9th, and then he takes it down flat 7 to the 5, back to the 3, and then you're descending that major arpeggio starting on the 3, triads, that major triad arpeggio down. So it's going to go in concert key, that's C, G, E, and then down to C again. Power of 3, right? That's just all arpeggios. Those first 2 bars together sound like this. So now we're moving on to the 5 chord. In my opinion, this 1 chord here is what makes this line stand out, and he adds so many color tones. It's a very, very cool bar here. So if you're taking anything, if you just want to learn 1 bar of this 1 measure is a great measure to learn if you want to get some dominant or altered dominant ideas and resolve to the 1 chord. Check it out. So he starts his line on the flat 9, goes up to the 3, the flat 13, very interesting sound over this, flat 7, then he does that sharp 9, flat 9 thing again. Baboo, baboo. See if that's right. Hey, it was right. So yeah, sharp 9, flat 9 again. After the sharp 9, flat 9, he comes down, back down the flat 13, the 3, extends his line. He ends up resolving that 3 to the flat 13 of the 1 chord, hits the major 7, 5, 4, 3. So major 7, 5, 4, 3. So what's he doing in that 5 chord? A lot of those tones are coming from the altered scale. If you don't know the altered scale, that's okay. Just get these tones in your ears. I'll do a video on that explaining what that is. You'll notice when you hear that, it sounds like it's almost a little out there, right? It's altered. That's exactly what it is. It's altered dominant. That line does go on. I would highly suggest getting the book or any of his material. He's a hard worker. He's a great musician, and he's a great dude. So any support to musicians out there that are thriving, that are trying to help others, I'm all about that. So please show him some love. Go to his store, check it out. His albums are insane. Everything that guy does is like gold. I do the breakdown so you can understand what's going on over the chords and helps you with transposition into other keys. But try not to think too much. Try to hear it. Play it slow. Sing it. All of those things are way more important than knowing what a flat 13 on a E7 chord is or whatever. Hear it, sing it, play it slow, get it into your ears, and it will come out. These will start coming out in your playing. You should definitely be able to sing this whole line. If you can't hit those pitches, if you're not hearing it right, and you're just kind of guessing with your hands, you're skipping over a step. It's gonna take longer for you to learn it if you don't learn it right the first time. So I'm just trying to save you some time, because trust me, I've made these mistakes. I've rushed through things, didn't sing it, and then I forget about it, or I lose it, you know. Ingrain this stuff the right way and it'll stick with you forever, I promise. So what to do next? Memorize the line, sing the line, play it in the original key, play it in a couple other keys, learn it in all 12 keys eventually. Transposing this is gonna get it more ingrained deeper inside of into your brain, into your ears, into your fingers, all that stuff. Then use it in a tune you're learning. If you're learning How High the Moon, you know exactly where to put it. 1, 6, 2, 5s happen all over the place. You can play it in a blues and then make it your own. So change the rhythm, maybe skip some notes, maybe start the line differently than he starts it, or end the line differently than how he ends it. Make it your own and have fun with it, of course. Always having fun. And that's it. That is your lesson for this time. Chad Lefkowitz-Brown, Chad LB. And that's all for me today. So remember, always positive, always progressing, have fun practicing and shedding this stuff. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, later.